at one of Britain's most sacred sites. That white line isn't paint on concrete. It's a 400-year-old boundary between order and chaos. Yet every single day, I watch tourists treat it like a suggestion rather than a command. From my position in the saddle, I've witnessed things that would make your blood boil. Tourists grabbing reins mid-ceremony, children being lifted onto horses for photos, adults mocking our silence thinking we a sandwich. A sandwich. While we were on ceremonial duty. The horse's reaction? Well, let's just say the tourist learned why these aren't petting zoo ponies. But it's not just physical boundaries they cross. It's the psychological warfare, the deliberate provocation. Some tourists seem to treat us like street performers, testing how far they can push before we break character. Why does this happen? After years of observation, I've identified 3 types of boundary crossers. The Instagram tourist. They need that perfect shot for social media. Consequences be damned. They'll risk injury, embarrassment, even arrest for content that gets forgotten in 24 hours. The authority challenger. These are the ones who see our stillness as weakness. They mistake discipline for helplessness. They push boundaries because they can't comprehend voluntary restraint. The cultural blind spot. Some visitors genuinely don't understand. In their culture, touching, getting close, being loud might show appreciation, but ignorance doesn't excuse disrespect. Here's what fascinates me. Different nationalities show distinctly different patterns. Some cultures approach with natural reverence, bowing slightly, maintaining distance, whispering. Others seem to view us as living statues in a theme park. But social media has weaponized tourist behavior. They're not just crossing lines for themselves anymore. They're performing for invisible audiences, turning our sacred duty into their entertainment content. People ask, what goes through your head when someone disrespects the ceremony? Here's the truth. Everything. We're simultaneously calculating threat levels, crowd reactions, horse behavior, protocol responses, and media implications, all while maintaining perfect stillness. When that tourist stepped over the line last week, my horse felt my tension immediately. These animals are trained for ceremony, but they're also war horses. They sense danger before we do. The slight ear twitch, the muscle tension. That's horse language for something's wrong here. The moment I shouted, "Stand back from the reins," 3 things happened instantly. The crowd gasped, the tourist froze, and my horse settled. Because finally, someone had restored order. But here's what viewers don't see in viral videos: the aftermath. We guards discuss these incidents. We analyze what went wrong, how to prevent it, whether protocols need updating. Each disrespectful act teaches us something about human nature. And yes, we remember faces. Repeat offenders don't surprise us twice. These horses aren't props. They're partners with centuries of breeding behind them. When a stranger grabs reins or manes, it's not just startling, it's potentially dangerous. My horse once bit a tourist who kept touching his nose despite warnings. The internet called it aggressive. I called it appropriate response to harassment. These animals protect themselves when humans fail to show basic respect. Change starts with understanding. These ceremonies aren't tourist attractions, they're living history. Every tradition exists for a reason. Safety, respect, continuity. Education works, clear signage, better crowd control, cultural briefings for tour groups. When people understand why boundaries exist, most respect them. But ultimate responsibility lies with individuals. Before you approach any ceremonial site, ask yourself, am I here to witness something greater than myself? or to make myself part of the show. The most beautiful moments happen when tourists show genuine respect. Silent nods, respectful distance, quiet appreciation. These interactions remind us why we serve. Next time you visit Horse Guards Parade or any ceremonial site, remember, you're not just a tourist, you're a temporary guardian of tradition. That white line represents everything that separates civilization from chaos, respect from entitlement, honor from selfishness. Which side will you choose to stand on? If this opened your eyes to what really happens behind the ceremony, subscribe for more insider perspectives. Help us protect what deserves to be honored. Because some boundaries should never be crossed. The truth is, these moments we've shared today happen every single hour at Horse Guards Parade. While you're watching this video, somewhere right now, another tourist is deciding whether to respect the line or cross it. I've stood guard through royal weddings, state funerals, and countless ceremonies. I've watched children grow into respectful adults, and I've seen adults act like entitled children. The difference isn't age, nationality, or background, it's character. Every time someone shows respect without being asked, they're not just honoring our tradition, they're teaching the person beside them. They're showing their children what dignity looks like. They're proving that in a world full of noise, quiet respect still has power. But when someone deliberately provokes, mocks, or ignores our warnings, they're not just disrespecting us. They're telling everyone watching that rules don't matter, that boundaries are optional, that tradition is worthless. Here's what I want you to remember. The next generation is watching. Your children, their children. They're learning from how you behave in moments like these. What lesson are you teaching them? These horses have served kings and queens. These uniforms have been worn through wars and peace. This ceremony connects us to something bigger than our individual wants and desires. So when you stand before that white line, ask yourself, am I here to take something or to give something back?